It's time for Wittenberg Academy's Latin 3-course lesson 70, demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns point out or specify the objects to which they refer. They're used alone as pronouns or with nouns as adjectives. When used as adjectives, of course, they agree with their nouns in gender, number, and case. And so is, ea, it, he, she, it, or that one, or that. So it's a very similar set of endings to the relative pronouns, is, eis, eum, eo, ei or ii, eorum, and then in the dative plural, eis or iis, the accusative eos, and then in the ablative again like the dative, eis or iis. Notice especially that in the genitive singular, the forms for all three genders are the same. That in the dative singular, the forms for all three genders are the same. And that in the dative and ablative plural, the forms for all the genders are the same. So that can throw you off there. So pay special attention to that. You need to make those charts, obviously, learn those forms. The table of meanings, rather straightforward. In the nominative, he, she, or it. In the genitive, of him or his, of her or hers, of it or its. In the dative, it means to or for him, or to or for her or it. The accusative, him, her, it. In the ablative, by him, by her, by it. And then likewise in the plural, they or those, of them or their, to them or for them, and by them. So, so this is how, this is also sometimes called the near demonstrative, or excuse me, the far demonstrative, confusing myself. Is sometimes called the far demonstrative, that one over there. There's another word for this one here, which we'll get in another chapter. And then section 4, paradigm, idem, iadem, idem, means the same. So you're adding dem to the forms of the to these forms more or less, except that you have a d show up, an n show up in the accusative eundum, but the forms again are rather straightforward, and they mean the same thing, of the same thing, for the same thing, by the same. Okay. So again, make your charts and learn those adjectives. And some vocabulary. Circuitous. Circuitous, it's of the fourth declension, means a detour or a circuit. Matrimonium. Matrimonium, just like it sounds, marriage. Nuntio. Nuntio, announce or bring word of. Principatus. Principatus, again of the fourth declension. Chief position, the principality. Dumnorix. Dumnorix. Dumnorigus in the genitive. That's a Helvetian's name, one of the fellows who shows up in Caesar's Gallic Wars. Ex cato. Ex cato means to depart from or to go forth. Helvetii. Helvetii, the Helvetians, the Swiss. Regio. Regionis, of the third declension, is a region, a land, an area. All right, time to translate. Again, pause the tape, do your best to work these out on your own, and then come back and correct them. Sentence 1. Eo tempore dumnorix principatum in civitate obtinebat. Eo tempore dumnorix principatum in civitate obtinebat. So, what do we have for a verb? We have obtinebat. Obtinebat. That's imperfect. All right, and then we're looking for something in the nominative to go with it. There's dumnorix, somebody's name. So dumnorix obtained. What did he obtain in the accusative? Principatum, the chief position, the principality. Where did he obtain it? In civitate. And when did he do so? Eo tempore, at that time. So at that time, dumnorix obtained the principality, the chief position in the city. Sentence 2. Ei filium suam in matrimonium dot. What is the verb dot? What's in the nominative to go with it? Nothing. So it's just he gave. What did he give? We need something in the accusative. Filiam suam, he gave his daughter. In matrimony, in marriage. Ei, to him. So there you see this demonstrative, this near demonstrative pronoun, just simply used as a straight up pronoun. What we use is a straight up pronoun in English. He gave his daughter to him in marriage. 3. Post eius mortem, helvetii a finibus suis excadent. Post eius mortem, helvetii a finibus suis excadent. So we have this prepositional phrase, post eius mortem, after his death. What happened? Our verb is excadent. The noun that goes with it is helvetii. The Helvetians left, went out from where? A finibus suis, from their boundaries. After his death, the Helvetians left their boundaries. Sentence 4. Caesari id nuntiatum est. Caesari id nuntiatum est. The verb is nuntiatum est, that perfect periphrastic construction. It was announced to Caesar. It was announced to Caesar. Sentence 5. Eodem tempore multi equites ex opido venient, quos rex paucis diebus ante miserat. Eodem tempore multi equites ex opido venient, quos rex paucis diebus ante miserat. Okay, well, we've got a comma plus a quos, so that tells us that's the beginning of a clause. We've got, let's look before that. Where's our verb venient? So they go, they leave. Who left? Multi equites. So many knights left ex opido, out of the city, eodem tempore, at the same time. So there's your eodem, ablative of time, at the same time. Many knights left the city. Quos rex paucis diebus ante miserat. Whom, quos, whom, where's a verb, miserat, rex miserat, whom the king had sent a few days beforehand. Ante, notice there, comes after the words it is governing. So that can sometimes be confusing, but prepositions do that all the time in Latin. Whom the king a few days previously had sent. So at the same time, many knights were leaving the city, those knights which the king had sent a few days earlier. 6. Longe circuitu omnes eastem petent regiones. Longo circuitu, I always mess up that word, circuitu. Longo circuitu omnes eastem petent regiones. Where is our verb? Petent. Okay, so they sought. What were they seeking? Eastem regiones. The same regions. Where's the nominative to go with it? Omnes. All were seeking, all are seeking the same regions. Longo circuitu, by a long detour. So by a long detour, all are seeking the same regions, the same areas. Okay, very good. Very good. All right, so in this lesson, simply a couple forms to learn, and they should go pretty easily. Again, they're very similar to the other pronouns. Simply you're learning the near demonstrative pronoun is, and is id, and then a paradigm for basically using that same pronoun, adding dem to it, and that means the same. So do pay special attention to those, especially where it's not, for example, the genitive plural on the top of page 134. You would maybe expect aorumdum, but it goes to aorundum before that N. That M often goes to an N. All right. So take a look at those. Learn your vocabulary, a little spot of vocabulary as well, and then you'll be ready for Lesson 71 and the near and far demonstratives.